Welcome to our show. This is one of the last shows for this season. This is a Christmas special, actually. And joining us in the studios is my co-host, Paul on the ball. And we're coming to you live, jtvlive.net. If you guys are checking in on the internet, and we have our numbers up. If you want to text us, if you want to call us, it's 300-1949, 300-1950 if you want to text us. Let us know that you're here. We certainly like to have you. Paul, I know you have a guest in here, so we're going to be talking to your guest today.
We certainly do, and good evening. And as Carl has said, this is our last show of the evening, and we let the producer know we're getting a slight echo, so he could check on that for us. Hope that the viewers aren't getting that echo as well. But we have with us quite a fit young man, James Carr. You've probably seen him before on television running. He's here live with us this evening. Good evening, James.
Hello, evening, Paul.
Right,
evening,
great.
Carl.
Good to have you here, James.
Good to be here on a Christmas special.
On a Christmas special.
And he said this is his first time.
This is his first time on television. Well, sitting on a seat. He's usually running.
It's true. My first time on live television.
I hope it's certainly not your last, because you're doing big things. So we'll be happy.
Excellent. Yes. Excellent. Yeah, I would like to come back.
Yes.
But for those of you who may have missed James or don't know what he does or know who he is, James is I guess you've got to say a cross-country runner, mainly road running in James, as he does. And he's given a bit of his history, and I won't steal his thunder, I'll let him do that for himself. But where he's gotten his claim to fame in the British Virgin Islands is he is the 2012 10K champion. And so, James, we can probably start by asking you, tell us how you got into cross-country running, into track and field, and give us a good little history there.
It was, I'd done a few runs back in England, which is where I'm from, and I was quite good at running, but then it was really this year I did the 5K in some triathlons for a team, and I kept on winning them. Well, we weren't winning the triathlons, but I kept on being the fastest runner, and so I thought, this is good, I'm better at running than I realised. And so then I thought, I'll do the half marathon in Virgin Gorda, and I went there, and again I didn't quite know how I was going to do. Then the whole way I was first, and I was going around thinking, yeah, I'm first, this is awesome. And then right at the end I came second, which it wasn't so good. So I wasn't too happy about that.
Who beat you? Do you remember?
It was Maxford Pipe.
Maxford Pipe, the famous Maxford Pipe. Good evening, Maxford. The man you beat.
Yeah, he's not on TV.
No, he's not. Let's talk before he's here. Maxford is not here.
But then I realised these 10Ks doing, so I thought, I'm going to do them. I'd never done 10K runs before, but I'm slightly more heavily built than most long distance runners.
Yes,
so actually,
we did notice.
So I think they suit me more. And I did the first race, and I went in, and I looked around, and everyone I recognised, I thought, I'm faster than these, judging on the Virgin Gorda half marathon.
Right.
Except for this guy, Steve Hassan, who I didn't know he was a good runner, but it turns out he is a really good runner. And the whole way, he was just ahead of me, and I was like, this wasn't going to happen. I thought I was going to come in here. And I was just thinking that, because the thing about running, which we can get onto this if we talk about what makes a good runner, but it's all mental, because essentially you're just putting one foot in front of the other, and it can be kind of boring if you don't have stuff to think about, but really it's just, you've got to have something to focus on. And in this race I just knew I had to win, and even though I think at that time he may have been a bit faster than me, but he'd won him before, so it was me that really wanted to win, and I didn't want to come second again, and I did. Then we had the second race. I wasn't quite as focused, he beat me, and then it boiled down to the fourth race, which you recorded, Paul.
I did, certainly.
And the whole way we were neck and neck, all the way. We went around Beef Island 3 times, all 2.5 laps.
It was close.
And then I just broke away, and it's the hardest run I've ever done in my life. Like, I was just running, just thinking, I've got to win, I've got to win, I've got to win. And I was just in my mind, and then and I just beat him, and then I became the 10K champion, which was great, because before this year I didn't even know I was a good runner. So it's quite cool for that to happen.
So let's stick with that fourth race a bit in Beef Island, because that's a lot of people would have seen that race on television. After the third lap, and Steve is still at your side. I mean, what are you thinking? What I mean, you know, there's only one lap to go. What do you think when were you planning to make your move? What was happening in your mind?
I knew I was a good, again, because I'm slightly bigger than most runners, I know one of my strengths is sprinting at the end, and I'd done quite a lot of sprint training as well down at the track, so I knew I had that there, and I wanted to break away sort of right near the end and just beat him. Then I actually broke away a little bit sooner than I should. We talked about this on my interview a little bit.
Right, we did, yes.
It was because a song came on my iPod. I maybe broke away a little bit quicker than that. But then I was like, wow, I've got to win, and it was just the whole way I was going, and but I think actually it was good that I broke away there, because I just stayed that, and it probably gave me a slight mental edge over him as well, because he'd been neck and neck, we were both exhausted, and then suddenly I sprint off, and I think I probably had it won mentally. I'm completely convinced in running and other sports, unless someone's completely more skillful than the other person, if you've got two people like Steve and I who are essentially almost the same at running, it's whoever sort of wants it on the day. Like the times that Steve beat me was the second one, and he was upset because some young kid had come in and beat him on the first one. Like, he didn't say it, but he was. And then there was another one which I think he was quite determined to win as well, and I wasn't as focused. And there always is this correlation. It's always
it's a learning process every time you run.
Yeah. So
I don't want to give away a trade secret here, Steve. I mean James. Steve is the one he beat.
Steve's not here. Axel's not here.
James is here. Yeah. So James, I don't want to give you a trade secret, but question: what song were you listening to on your right?
And he does run with the iPod on.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
That is one of my big secrets, the iPod. But it was, and I don't think it would work for anyone else. So I can tell you, it was Billy Idol, White Wedding.
Okay, I'll make a note of that. Billy Idol, White Wedding.
Kind of embarrassing song, but it does make me run fast.
That was the one that made you break away.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, the third race when I was neck and neck with Ravi, I broke away to the same song. Like
so that's some tends to have an effect in you.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I've never been married. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I just like the song, and it gets me going.
No, folks, if you're tuning in, like I said, we're live right here on the internet. It's jtvlive.net. If you're just checking in, if you're checking on the TV, it's if you want to call us, it's 300-1949. If you want to text us, it's 300-1950.
And we do have a text, actually.
That's good. And
it says, hello, good night. I'd love to see James Carr race again in the College Classic. And the champion Kirby Creaky, I would love to see that race.
The matchup. Matchup. That's a youngster.
Have you raced against Kirby?
have you met him yet?
No, I don't believe I've ever raced against Kirby.
Right.
So is this the 2 mile?
This is the 2 mile. Would that be too short for you, or what do you reckon?
Well, judging by what I was saying, like I'm a bigger runner than most long distance, so a 2 mile probably should be good for me. But I've never done it.
More from what I'm getting, the races that you run, the 2 mile is more like a sprint for you.
Yes, it would be.
So it would be testing you. It would be testing you.
It would be. It would be a test.
But then he's good at sprinting. Then he's not bad at sprinting. So it might.
He's good at sprinting up that distance.
Exactly.
But I mean, 2 miles is a distance. Right. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, James.
It is a distance, yes.
Is it too? Okay. Yeah. No, what do you think? Is it too short, or is it?
I'm essentially a long distance runner, and what I'm good at is breaking away in that sprint when I need to, which a lot of people can't do. Like I haven't tested myself. I don't know if I'd actually be good at
Have you ever done the 2 miles?
I've never done a 2 mile race competitively, no.
So 2 miles or 2K? It's 2
miles.
It's 2 miles. Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 miles.
Yeah, it's 2 miles.
So that might be a little short for you then.
That might be interesting too.
Yeah, possibly, but I'm up for the challenge.
Right. Well, they put it out, and there's another text coming here. Somebody's hot in the Texas tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. He says that apparently Creaky is his hero. Is it Creaky that's Kirby Creaky is his hero?
Who said
the text.
Okay.
And so therefore, somebody wants to see you, James Carr, match up with their hero.
With their hero. Wow.
It's on, mate.
There we go. I could be racing for hero status.
You could be.
That's a big.
So my question is, if James Carr beats him, who then becomes your hero? This is getting interesting.
Oh yes.
Of course, the number to text if someone wants to send us text 300-1950 is the number to text if you want to call.
Text us again.
300 1949 for call.
Okay, call.
49. Okay.
And we're live on the internet, right?
We are live on the internet.
Streaming.
We are streaming.
JTV Live?
JTVLive.net.
There you go.
Excellent. Good. Right. So, James, tell us a bit about. I guess we can diversify a bit, and if anyone wants to tell us a bit more about your racing. In fact, let's one more text. They're coming in pretty swiftly, you know.
I had so many texts in my life.
The person said no. James Carr is their hero.
Wow. Who is that?
Wow, so you can't be racing for hero. That's because of calling me to
Okay, is this a female?
I told my mom about your text.
Let's hope it's your mom. Because if it's not your girlfriend, mate, don't go home tonight.
Yes.
Could be interesting. Well, keep those texts coming in. We're certainly, as I fiddle with it.
At least we know that somebody's watching, Paul.
Carl, somebody's always watching.
Good.
You know.
And we want to say hello to our Latino friends.
Certainly, go ahead. You can do it in Spanish?
We can try.
Go ahead.
Buenas noches to mi Latinos amigas, amigos.
To screen?
Yes.
Are you telling me? Or?
No, well, I'm
Okay.
Can you understand? Did you understand what I just said?
And Feliz Navidades. Feliz Navidad.
Yeah.
Feliz Navidad.
Season greetings, yes.
Season greetings. There you go. So there we go. So that's all Spanish little talk there.
Okay.
Let's get back to James. James,
what's
buenos dias.
Buenos noches.
Buenas noches.
What's next for James Carr?
Well, I'm doing the triathlon in Puerto Rico next year, the Ironman. It's a half Ironman actually, so that's going to take up a lot of my training time, which is I think it's 1.5 kilometer swim. It's like a 90.
So are you actually doing the whole thing?
Yes, I'm doing the whole thing this time.
So swim, run, and
yeah.
and run.
And actually, it turns out I'm not as good at swimming and cycling as I am running, which.
Wow.
So you'd have to make up in the running.
Yeah. So I'm good. The good thing is running is last. So I'm a terrible swimmer. I sink. I'm naturally not buoyant. I sink. So I'll struggle with that. Hopefully, I'll do it in the time.
Do you have a coach or somebody that's working with you and getting you prepared for something like this?
Yes, I have had some swimming training, and I'll be training a lot doing it definitely, and the same with the cycling.
If you're short, we have trainers that will be available.
Okay.
There's one in the room tonight. If you want, we'll tell you who it is.
There's two in the room. One can train you on bike.
Oh, okay.
Very good at bike.
Excellent.
Tell us a bit about moving mountains for November. That was something that's been last month.
I will be doing 5Ks as well. I should have said that.
Okay.
Yes.
Which so I'm going to still be doing the running in BBI, but the next thing, and they start in March. So I'll probably do that.
Okay,
one.
so the 5K is in March.
Yes.
We'll make a note of that.
I can tell you the date actually.
5K in March. You're going to give us the date. Go ahead.
The 2nd of March.
2nd of March. So
that is my mum's birthday. She's getting a lot of mentions.
So she is. That means you're going to have to dedicate that race to your mom, James.
Yes, I will.
And you need to win it.
That's another one I've got to win.
Another one you got to win. Now, there's a question for you here, James. It says, ask James if we can ever expect to meet JC Thunder in any upcoming racing events. This person knows you, James.
Yes, I think that person knows me.
So,
I want an answer.
This is pre my running career. I used to be a professional wrestler for a number of years.
Wow.
In England and in Europe and America, I did a little bit as well. But that was what I did.
So you ran out of the wrestling area into the running area.
Yes.
So you're a pretty good wrestler.
You kept running.
So
yes.
Don't get him upset tonight.
That's right.
So you wrestle professionally?
Yes, I was wrestling professionally.
You know what to talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
So JC Thunder was your wrestling name?
JC Thunder was my wrestling
So
name.
somebody here knows that you did wrestling. Maybe they used to see you on television and stuff.
I think, maybe people have seen me on television. Or more likely, it's probably one of my friends who
So
is
you thought you came here
in.
tonight to talk about cross-country running, but you actually came here to talk about wrestling.
We can talk about wrestling too.
You got a bit of everything going on.
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's pretty impressive. So what do you enjoy more, doing the wrestling or doing the cross-country running? Or which one did you enjoy more, then and now?
Honestly,
or comparatively?
They're very different things. The running is something that took me by surprise, and I very much enjoy doing it. But wrestling was something that I enjoyed watching ever since I was a kid,
Right.
and it was something I wanted to do ever since I was a kid, and it was kind of like a childhood dream. It was very important to me.
So you've lived out that dream in you. Are you done with wrestling?
For now, yes, I'm done with wrestling.
It's not like you may go back.
Possibly. Never say
Never say never.
What about training somebody into that area? Would you be interested?
I would absolutely love to put on professional wrestling shows in the BVI. Whether I could have enough people who are interested to A, I could train up to wrestle, and B, would be interested in coming to watch wrestling shows is another question. But yeah, I would love to put on wrestling shows.
The reason I ask is because I know of a lot of youngsters that probably have behavioral problems. I think wrestling would be something. I always say boxing and wrestling would be something good for them because they have that behavior, and that's something they can take it out on. You know what I mean? Their frustration.
That's true.
Were you one of those kids?
I don't know.
No, he's just like wrestling.
It's just a slight ball of just
And I used to run my own wrestling school in London, and we would have kids coming in. And there would be two ends of the spectrum actually. You'd either get the ones come in who would just be, they'd be causing trouble and they'd just be a nightmare, but then they'll get into wrestling and it would give them focus, and then it's helped them out. Or you get the other end of the spectrum where they'll come in and they'll be very shy and retiring, and initially they'll be terrible, because wrestling is all about, the wrestling I did was the most famous is WWE, or just on American television. That's what I did.
You did that?
Wow. That's what I did, and
That's big.
so it's all about.
He was big.
Well, no, I wasn't on WWE.
Oh,
that's
okay,
gross.
okay.
Yeah, over-exaggerating my accomplishments, but that's the style of wrestling that I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
But if you've ever watched it, you'll know it's a lot about character display and speaking in front of a microphone and crowds. So these little shy kids would come in and they'd be doing this and putting on this show, and suddenly it would bring them out of the shell, much in the same way as I imagine it happens with musicians and actors. And you'd suddenly see them become this personality, and it was great because they were shy.
So you can teach wrestling if you had the opportunity to.
Little rusty, yes, I could teach wrestling if there was a demand for it.
But we're here for running.
Yes, but we are here for running. I really wrestling is taking over.
But we
so thank you whoever texted in.
Well, thanks for sending that text.
Yes, we wouldn't have known.
He'll thank you after the pub. And that's something we could, as Carl rightly said, it's something that we can look into in the future, and we can probably nab you on that one.
Okay.
Get you into a bit of teach some of the youngsters how to wrestle.
Yeah.
Right? Sounds great. Let's get back to the previous question I asked you, which is moving for mountains. Tell us a bit about. Okay, we're going to take a pause for a cause, are we?
Yes, we like to.
Okay, let's do that.
Go ahead.
All right, well, we'll take a pause for a cause to thank our sponsors. I should be Digicel, and of course,
but Digicel, now we talk about Digicel a lot. I haven't seen the fruits of labor from any Digicel right now. Haven't had a phone.
We'll talk about that on the break.
Haven't had a phone. and, we haven't had any interactions. But anyway, Digicel is one of our sponsors. We hope that they'll get back to us. Speedies.
Digicel, Speedies that gets me across to Summer Jams. Summer Jams. We want to thank them. Play to win.
Yes, of course.
For all your sporting goods and all your
Woodland Wholesale and Gatorade.
And Woodland Wholesale for Gatorade, for which
we don't have any tonight. We'd like to take a break for a thank word from our sponsors. Right.
We do that.
Welcome back, guys. Like I said, this is our season end show, Christmas show, a special show, if you want to call it that. In the studio with us is James Carr. He's the 10K champion
for 2012.
2012, and he's been talking to us about his many
achievements.
There you go.
One of which is wrestling.
Yes.
And his wrestling name was JC Thunder.
Yes.
And in fact, the level he wrestled at was equivalent to the WWE.
Oh, I don't think I said that.
Close to. Which is
close enough.
Well, it was a fairly high level. Come on.
Well, it was a similar style.
Modesty is
a lot
obviously
less
one of the-
people and a lot less pay.
But
there you go.
A question to that. Since you've been at that level, everybody thought that wrestling is more like of an acting. Is it really?
What are you talking about?
Okay, good.
What are you talking about?
Just checking. So you really got some licks.
Oh, yeah.
In between the occasional act, definitely.
Tap out.
But professionally, they're not really allowed to say on television.
Of course, I understand.
There is a bit of acting,
I understand. But I think everything now is more into what's...
It's very safe. The wrestling, to me now, from what I see it, they're very much more concerned about people's safety, you know. I think in the old days, when I say the old days, maybe 10, 15 years ago, they used to be, and there's certain moves that they've stopped now, like the neck breaker and the thing.
And the head.
They stopped those sort of moves, haven't they? In the old days, they used to allow them.
They still do them sometimes, though. Yeah,
they're not supposed to anymore.
No, they are. Yeah, a lot of people have had broken necks from.
Yeah, they've actually miscued the pile driver, correct? Right. Because you're supposed to slide in, so it looks like they're having, but they're actually not landing. But if it's a split.
He knows a lot about wrestling.
It's a split. That's how documentary was. It's a split second, and if you get that split second wrong, you actually catch them on the back of the neck.
This is the wrestler. What are you saying?
Sorry, yeah, James, tell us.
I don't know. I think Paul maybe used to be a wrestler.
It sounds like he knows it, eh?
Yeah. Well, I think I told Carr the story when I went to a gym in England once when I was around 18. I was up there, and I went to box.
Okay.
And I went in there and I started hitting the guy because I had fairly fast hands, you know. To myself. And the coach was so impressed, he sort of left me for a second round. And the guy just slowed right down and began to move really slowly. And all I knew was 1, 2, 3, and they were waking me up on the They're waking me up, Carl. So
back to running.
Back to moving mountains for November. Let's get about it. We have a call coming in. Let's take that call. We'll do that. Good evening, Sports Desk. Go right ahead, please.
Good night.
Good night.
This is Craig.
Your competition.
Yeah. Getting serious.
Okay, now back to running. Let's get focused.
We were just told that.
I just reached home and I think somebody called me and was telling me about the show and someone texted about me and Carr racing.
Yeah, is there? I think you're. Sorry, Kai. Sorry to stop you. Is your TV on or something? Getting a really bad feedback.
Oh yeah.
Let's lower it there for us, so we don't. Otherwise, the folks at home can't hear what you're saying.
I got home just now, and I think someone texted me and told me that someone was talking about me on Sports Desk, so I was who it was. So I heard a race that they were proposing with me and James Carr, and I was really excited because I actually do want to race him.
Wow.
Accepted.
Well, James Carr's right here. James
said accepted.
Let's speak. Let James speak for himself. Go ahead, James.
I challenge accepted. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
It's a 2 mile. It's a 2 mile. And make sure we have to bring the cameras out on this one.
When do the 2 miles start? I'm out to train for this.
Good for me in the 2 miles or 10K. I'm up for the challenge.
Oh wow, he's stepping up into your class.
There we go.
Well, do a 5K in between. What's best?
We should do a best of 3: 2 miles, 5K, and a 10K.
Yes,
Wait, how fast are these guys? I've never even seen him.
So it's going to be a best of 3, a 2K, a 5, and a 10. Right.
I'm definitely down for this challenge, and I'm excited to race him.
I'm very excited too.
I'll just let you know he's probably half here.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to save your number and have James call you afterwards, and then we will arrange between the two associations these races and get you two guys running together.
We should both come on to JTV.
And we are going to bring you both back on to JTV before the races begin. And after the races, we'll have a special. JTV is going to do a special award for the winner.
Okay. See you then, James Carr.
You're supposed to say "see you on the track." And Jay used to see him back from now.
See him on the road.
yeah. See you on the road.
See you on the road. Thank you for calling.
Thanks for calling.
All right,
good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Good.
Okay, well, James.
There you go. You never heard of this guy, have you?
No, I haven't. Well, I don't really know too much about the 2 milers, so this is.
Okay, well,
You want some video clip footage of him? I can show you
I don't think you would want. I don't think you want to see it right now. but it would be an interesting race.
Yeah.
Would be I know you'll give him. I know you'll give him a run for his money.
Okay.
All we have to do is check his times.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
So if you could just text us in your times for 2, 5, and 10.
I don't think I can back out now.
But
that would be nice to have.
James may just have put his foot in his mouth.
Well,
I can't turn down a challenge.
May or may not.
Good.
Okay,
I can turn down a challenge.
Come on. I mean, if I'm the same as James, I wouldn't turn it down. This is Christmas, man.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a Christmas special.
Christmas special.
Okay, yeah. When are we doing this race? I'm going to be carrying a little Christmas weight. I might need to sort that out first.
I guess. Like I said, once you guys get together, we decide for different associations. So
Yeah.
we can
Put it together.
Yeah, no, but that would be great.
Certainly, JTV will certainly get involved in this, and we'll try to. Well, we won't try. We'll do a special award for the winner.
Yes.
Okay.
There'll be a JTV award.
Great.
For the winner between
bragging rights and everything.
It's gonna be college classic clashes with the Athletic Road Association.
Road racing, yes.
Great stuff. All right, so let's try for a 4th time now, James.
We need to talk about
Moving Mountains for November. What's it all about? And give us an insight.
Turn off that phone for a second.
Okay.
We keep getting
Phone
interrupted.
off. There you go.
Moving Mountains for November was a run that I organised. It was held 2 weeks ago. It was for November, which, if you don't know, is for the month of November, a lot of men grow moustaches to raise funds for male cancer research. And
Paul doesn't wear a moustache though.
Well, I would have, but I didn't know about it.
Okay, well next year you'll know. Next year, how to do my runs.
I'm still wearing mine.
Yes. Have you donated the money already?
Oh, you can still donate. We'll get onto that.
But have the mustache. So.
But I
to
organised a run from Myatt's up to Rudy's, which everyone had a moustache, even girls, like they had fake moustaches on as well, and it was billed as a 5k. It wasn't really 5k, but it was billed as a 5k, and because I think it was probably about 4 or something, and we all raced up there, and we got sponsorship through our website online, which I'll give in a second, and I raised money from ticket prices as well, and we raised about $2,000 for male cancer research, which it went very well. About 45 people did it.
45.
About 45 people did it, and then we had a sponsored by Baker Tilly, which is the company I work for,
right.
Baker Tilly BVI Limited, which we're very grateful for. They put forward money so the event could happen. And
how hard was that? Because it's all uphill.
It was all uphill, which I'm not used to. It was.
You couldn't really do your distance like how you wanted to, eh?
No, well, it was. Around the first bit, it's a little bit on the flat from Myatt's to the beginning of the hill, and then it's literally just you. At some points, you almost feel like you're walking.
Yep.
And again, I'm always neck and neck in these races. I was neck and neck, and at the end,
you got that song again.
Well, I didn't because I was organising it. I was sort of talking to people as well at the beginning, so I didn't have my iPod, and I had the very awkward position at the end where firstly I was knackered, and it was Richard Morgan who I was neck and neck with, who's a very good triathlete, and I had the very awkward position where I was like, right, I'm screwed either way. If I win this, people are going to be like, you set up an event just to win it yourself. But if I lose it, you lost your own event. That's pretty embarrassing.
That's not good.
So I did win it, but I still got a little bit of stick for that because. But in BVI, I've noticed generally any sporting event that's set up, people seem to win their own events.
Yeah.
So I think that's generally.
Carl will tell you that's definitely the case.
Is it?
Yeah. You said if you don't, you win.
You put me on the spot, Paul? Okay.
Let me give you the website. Well,
sure, let's get the website.
It's www.justgiving.com, and you need to find the page for Get Rude for November, which was the original name because it's racing to Rudy's.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
So
when I saw that, something else came to my mind, but justgiving.com.
Just Giving. I think it's / Get Rude for November.
/ Get
Rude.
But if you go on Just Giving.
Get Rude.
Yeah.
RUDE.
Yes.
For one word.
FOR Movember, so November but with an M.
Right. Movember.
Movember.
Yeah, that's what was puzzling me.
Oh, I see. Good.
Movember.
Yeah,
That's
because when I saw it, I was like,
a typo.
Play on words. No typo. Play on
because
words.
it kept when I deleted it, it kept coming back with the same thing, so I couldn't have been a typo.
Okay, so just reminding folks, it's
Oh yeah, I kept on sending that email.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone on the island got that email.
justgiving.com and / this is for the people with clean minds, get rude. For Christmas? No,
For November.
For November.
And the cause is basically, like you said, for the cause?
The cause it's for male cancer research.
Male cancer research.
Yes, which Everyman Male Cancer Research Campaign was a charity we did online.
And this is for the island?
That was, unfortunately, and next year, I've been talking with the Movember people, we want to set it up so all the funds go locally. Because about 1,200 of that was raised through ticket prices, so that I gave that locally, and then about 800 that went to Everyman Male Cancer, which is a global one, which is still good. But next year, I'd like it to all go locally, and I will.
Well, next year, I think you should have a challenge on your hand, because then you got the young fellow who's going to be challenging you. So I know.
There we go. He can do that as well. Yeah. Although I think I'll be able to grow a better mustache than him. So he's half my age.
You'll be surprised that he's growing a mustache from now.
Yeah, start growing your mustache from now.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So it's really interesting stuff. And so you're into cancer research, and what got you involved in that? Let's talk a bit about that. What got you involved in cancer? Why cancer?
It was always just little things that start a seed, and then that's what grows the idea. It was actually my flatmate. He
and Paul, I don't know what a flat is. Okay.
You know,
yes, my housemate. Actually, it's a house. I always say flatmate, but it's the house I live in.
Yes, I do know what a flat is.
Flatmate, okay.
Yes. It's an English word.
It is an English word, flatmate. Yeah.
And he said to me, I said to him, I'd like to run up that hill one time, because I live in Cane Garden Bay, to Rudy's. And he said, you're not going to be able to run up that hill. It's a really steep hill. And so then one morning, I got up to about 6 o'clock, and I came back, and I was waking, and he was waking up. When I ran up that hill today, I ran back down again. You thought I couldn't do it.
Wow.
And then and it was just like a joke between us. And I was like, everyone can do that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to show everyone can do it. Yeah. So then I set up this event. Then all these other running events were happening. So I was like, when can I do it? And then I remember we got the Movember thing. And I thought, it'd be good to do it, because it fell at the end of November, and it was the last race of the running season. Right. So I thought it'd be good to do it for charity as well, because it's a very worthwhile cause.
Yeah, very much so. Right?
Okay, Bob. You got another break?
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Finish.
Okay. Well, that was what I did. But that's how it started, and then it took a lot of organisation actually. But I set it up, and it was very successful. And I was very pleased how it went.
Okay, excellent. Well, we're going to take a pause for a cause, Carl. When we come back, we have a lot of other sports to talk about as well. We have the Horse Owners Association. They should be having the annual general meeting kind of shortly. We'll tell you a bit about how that's going. We also have
basketball, the track and field.
Yeah,
tennis.
we also have Save the Seed, which is the new gym opening this Saturday. We have basketball, Summer Jam. We're fully fledged into the finals now. We'll give you an update on that. And anything else, Carl?
Track and field.
And we also have track and field, of course.
Twilight event.
The Twilight event with Kim Collins and Taisha Harrigan. So stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back, guys. As we're getting close to the end, I just want to give a brief overview of what we have for the year. So Paul and I is going to be giving you some updates. And I just want to thank all of the listening audience for tuning in for us for the past year and sharing your concerns, all of the texts that we got, all the phone calls that we got. I want to thank you guys. Next year is going to be a big year for us. So we're going to be a lot more organized, Paul.
We certainly are.
We're going to bring you a lot more events, a lot more stuff. So look forward for us. What we going to start with now, Paul?
Well, we're actually going to start with the text. James is still in the limelight here.
Oh, we still have James with us. So he's going to be getting in on some of the information that's coming ahead.
And this with reference to James and the moving from mountains, the this person says, I participated in the Moving for Mountains on the 4th of November, basically, and 24th November. And I'd like to congratulate James Carr and Baker Tilly for a very well organized and fun event. Even babies and dogs participated.
That's true. I didn't mention that. We had so much to talk about. We've only had half an hour.
Go ahead.
We had 2 dog walkers, and we had, and this was probably the biggest achievement of the day. We had a couple pushed a pram. Elizabeth and Oliver Clifton pushed a pram up that hill.
With a child in it.
With a child, with a small child in it. But I remember they emailed me and they were like, "Oh, we'd like to do this with our son. We'll be pushing him up." And I was like, "Whoa, have you seen the hill?" They did it, and they weren't too far behind everyone. Like,
so they're actually running and pushing.
They were probably walking, I imagine. Maybe they ran. And then we had 2 dogs in there as well. Yeah.
So those dogs probably was tired.
Did you have special drinks for the dogs at the end?
Did you give them Gatorade?
Yes, they had some water. I hope. I wasn't in charge of that. They seemed happy enough. Even the dogs had some mustaches.
There you go. Even the dogs had mustaches, Carl. So bring your dog next to your car.
Of course.
Yeah, this is a good guy, Carl.
We just want to mention on Saturday at around 3-4 o'clock, we have a Save the Seed grand opening at the New Life Baptist Church, a new complex building that's down there. They're going to have their grand opening. I understand there's going to be some basketball playing. They have new fitness center, gymnasium, volleyball, basketball courts. It's going to be open to the general public, so if you guys join in, it's going to be a grand opening. There are a lot of stuff that's going on. It's a nice facility. I think you guys need to come down and check it out and join in on the opening. It's a Save the Seed Energy Center at New Life Baptist Church. Like I said, once again, it's going to be open to the general public. So if anybody wants to check it out, that would be the time to do so. Paul, I think you had something else.
Well, of course, they have a bowling alley there. They have rental space that you can use as well. There's a gym, weights room, spinning room, which I'll be doing spinning, as Carl says, basketball. And they also have plans for tennis and hopefully squash.
Yes, and they also have child services. If you want to go to the gym and you don't have any place to drop your kids, they would take care of them for you. So, like I said, they thought about everything when they were building the center. So it's just about a fun place for everybody. And if you need food, of course, there's a cafe in there. Yeah, you can get enrichment food, and you can get a sample of local food. Yes, so it's not just a vegetarian food, so to speak.
No. And also, Carl, there is cricket on this morning, around 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can watch the West Indies against Bangladesh in the 4th one-day international in Bangladesh. The West Indies are 2-1 down. They trail in the series, and they must win tonight if they have a chance of winning the series. The team will be comprised of Chris Gale, Kieran Pollard, Marlon Samuels, Darren Bravo, Kieran Pollard, Darren Sammy, Dinesh Ramdin, the captain, Vansarami Prasol, Ravi Rampal, Sunny Narayana, Andre Russell. I believe that is your team, and so it will be quite interesting. They reckon that the man that's going to get off tonight will be Chris Gale, and if it is Chris Gale, you don't want to miss it because he is the most prolific batsman in world cricket right now. So it should be pretty interesting. But we do have a text that has just come in, and as you know, we always read our text, so we'll do that. It says, "Hey guys, can I tell you, or can you tell me when we can play cricket at the Greenland ground?" Well, there you go. We're talking about cricket.
Do you have an answer?
I do. I was just speaking with the president of the Cricket Association about 2 days ago, and the league usually starts in January, and there is plans in the early new year for the league to start. What has to be done is that, of course, Greenland is a multi-purpose ground, as you know, as was the A.O. Shirley ground, although it's still used for other sports, and so therefore they will have to consult with softball, because the softball season originally was supposed to start in January. Most people don't realize that, but it usually starts in April and May and clashes with the basketball season, which of course is too late. So there's a situation as to when is the softball season going to start. Okay, what am I talking about? The perception is that it's if the lights are ready in town, or they aren't. There may be a paradigm shift across the Greenlands, Also, there may be that's one aspect. The other aspect is, even if that doesn't happen, even if the regular season is played in town at the recreation grounds, there may also be another league being played, a softball league being played in East End, and so therefore the Cricket Association have to make sure that doesn't clash. But certainly cricket is in the air and will be played in the new year at the Greenland ground.
Also, Paul, we have track and field. You want to shed some light on it?
Right, the Twilight, the International Twilight, what's it called, Twilight Invitational, is going to be on June the 1st. I've actually, put together a volunteers committee, of which Carl Scatliff is a member, I'm pleased to say. And if you're interested in getting involved in that and being part of a committee, you certainly can. That committee will basically be in charge of a number of things: getting people to the ground, filling the stands, ensuring that we have volunteers who are going to officiate.
But Paul, I was sorry to cut you. I was understood that our stadium should be finished by that time next year. I heard the man in charge of the ground said he sees to it that the rest of the stadium should be finished. Any word on that?
Right. Well, that's a bit separate to what I'm saying right now. I'm speaking with the Volunteers Association. We'd have to speak to Doug Samuels with reference to that. He's in charge of the grounds. But as far as the Volunteers Committee is concerned, so we have different aspects that we're focused on, and one of those aspects will be ensuring that we have officials at the ground as well, and we're also going to be looking into marketing of the event. So there are a number of things that that's under our portfolio. So if you're interested in that and being part of the Twilight Invitational in 2013, you're happy to do so. But that's something we want to bring to mind. Carr?
Yes, I also was understood today that there's a tennis tournament, a professional tennis tournament that's going on one of our islands, and it's sanctioned by tourism board or government and stuff like that. I haven't heard any.
It's in Guana Island. It's an annual tournament that's held here.
What island is it?
Is it Guana? I can't remember. Is it Guana?
I thought it was Necker.
Necker. Right, yes. There you go. Carr knows more than I do.
I thought it was Necker. But then my surprise is that something of that event, that great event is going on, and you hardly hear anything in the news about it. So
they actually have a few pro players that come here every year. It's an annual tournament now that come and play at that tournament.
Where's Necker located? Is that in Bahamas?
It's Necker. Necker isn't it just behind?
Oh, so it's in the British Virgin Islands. Oh, I'm just checking.
Yes. Carl, it's Christmas.
I'm just checking, guys, because like
it's
I said,
Christmas.
I mean, these are sporting events, but something of the nature of this, and you don't hear about it, you have to ask the question if Necker is part of the British Virgin Islands.
Necker certainly is part of the British Virgin Islands.
Okay.
I'm happy to say.
Good.
And the tournament is being held there. And the BVI are aware, as far as they inform the Tennis Association every year, and they actually have members that are sent to be part of the whole function every year.
So why is the media not
Well, you'd have to ask Necker that. That would have to be Necker's.
Okay, I just want to mention too.
Isn't Carl fun?
I just want to mention too the basketball tournament that was just held. We just want to say thanks to all of the folks that helped us get it up and running with the BVI basketball, British Virgin Islands Tropical Shootout. We just want to say thanks to all of those folks that went the extra mile in order to make this possible. Next year we have bigger and better teams to come, so look forward to us next year. Like I said, we didn't have the kind of coverage that we would have liked, but hopefully next year you guys understood what's going on now, and so we should be looking forward to bigger and better things. And horse racing, I understand that from the president that the association is not
right. You want to pass it over to me?
Up and running yet, but yes, you can shed some light.
There we go. Okay, the BVI Horse Owners Association due to hold their annual general meeting. It was supposed to be last Monday. Unfortunately, the president, Mr. Lesmo Smith, was unavoidably detained in or absorbed in was it Just Van Dyke, or where did the lady get lost? Either Just Van Dyke or Annie Garda, where he was Annie Garda, there you go, where he was searching for the 77-year-old lady. He had to use dogs and what have you, and he's the only person, the best person for the job when it comes to looking for people like that. So it was postponed. It is due to be the date is due to be reset shortly. A date has not been confirmed yet, but as soon as it does, I certainly will be one of the first to know. The guy that told me they will call me, and we will keep you up to date with that. Of course, this is our final show for the season, so we will find out the means of letting you know. But certainly, it has not been gone yet. But I'll go as far as to say that in the interim, Les Moore has still taken charge of ensuring that Boxing Day will go ahead. I've also spoken to Letty, as with her yesterday, and they're all ensuring that the boxing races will go ahead as normal. So have no fear; those races will go on as scheduled. On to, I don't want to get covered nearly out of time. Can I just go ahead and mention Speedies?
Yes.
Speedies, of course, are sponsors for Summer Jam, and Summer Jam 2012 is now into its full swing, into the finals. All this. The playoffs have been completed. The last playoff games were last weekend, and there were two final games played. High Speed in the junior division played against Spartans, and they defeated them 71-65. In fact, Spartans led with less than 2 minutes left in the game over High Speed, but High Speed overpowered them in the last minutes of the game, scored consecutive baskets to win that game 75-61. In game 2, also into the championship games, Let's Get It, of course coached by Red Telemark. High Speed is coached by Brian Bash-Bruley, incidentally. They defeated Game Over, that's coached by Ethan O'Neill. Final score 86-84. Again, amazingly, Game Over led until 51 seconds left in the game, and Let's Get It, well, the man they call William Penn Jr., Ice Willie, the son of Ice Willie, the hot hander, took over and won the game for Let's Get It. So they won that quite handsomely. William Penn had 38 points in that game.
He was the only person that was playing.
Well, the other guys, but they 13-10, Also for High Speed, DeMoy Hodge had 23 points. So, there's one guy out there. Easton in the final, this for the playoff game of the season, they defeated Up to the Time, 75-74. Believe it or not, again, Up to the Time led for all the game until about 13 seconds left in the game. The man, you got it right, David Bololetsum came to the game and did it. Lovely shot. Went to the free throw line and won the game for East. And the top scorer in that game was not David Bololetsum, it was Dwayne Kobo Penn, who had 23 points and 9 rebounds. So
very good.
There you go. Kobo came. It was all 3 games last week Friday were very exciting. On Saturday night, though, in game, the High Speed met yet again with Spartans, and I don't have it here, but I can tell you they destroyed them. High Speed. Actually, it's the other way around. Spartans nearly destroyed High Speed. It rained, and the game was called off. Okay. So that game has to be completed this coming Friday. Let's Get It, though, defeated Game Over comfortably, 74-51. Yet again, top scorer William Penn, Ice Willie Jr., he was top with 20 points. And in the finals of the seniors, set it off, beat East 89-49. But you know what? The funny thing is, East finished playing the night before at 3 a.m. in the morning. Had to come back the following evening to play again.
Wow.
So, yeah.
They're playing at what, 3 in the morning?
The game finished. It rained. And so they dried the court. The president, Wes Stevens, doesn't like cancelling games.
That's a crazy time.
Are you saying that this weekend are the final championships?
Well, this weekend you have game number 1 is High Speed versus Spartans. They will play 2 back-to-back games tonight, on Friday night. They will finish the first game and then they'll start the second game. Yes. All right. Then the second game will be Let's Get It versus Game Over. If Let's Get It win, they're the champions.
Okay, so it's 1 game knockout?
It's no best of five, but they've won 2.
Okay.
So if they win tomorrow night, Let's Get It will be the champions after Irving Red Telemark, and he has promised us a sweep. He said in his interview he's going 3 straight. Although he won the first game in the last second, of the game, right? So in other words, game over. They play well, and Paul Bridgewater, and they also have a couple of the good guys there as well now. I'm got time to call the names. We're nearly out of time. And finally, set it off. We'll play against East, a fresher East team.
Okay.
So we should expect good stuff from them. Right. Over to you, Carl.
Okay. Once again, guys, it's been a pleasure for the whole year that you guys have stayed with us. We just want to thank you. We want to thank our guest, James Carr, for coming in this evening and sharing some information with us on cross country. And my good friend Paul, I know you guys see him all around. You hardly see me sometimes, but I'll try to make it there just as often as he does. And like I said, once again, it's been a pleasure bringing our sports to you. We have a clip that's we're going to play for horse racing.
Right, we sure. Let's give James a final word.
Of course.
James, let's give a final word. Do you want to say about anything before you go?
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's been an enjoyable evening. Looking forward to this challenge with the Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby.
We need to find out where the first 2 mile race is, and then have a 5k and a 10k. It's quite an interesting challenge, which I'm up for in the new year.
That's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll have to lay off those mince pies this Christmas.
You will have to have the mince pies this Christmas, definitely.
I'll maybe have a few.
Well, one or two.
January 1st. No, January 2nd. I'll start training then.
Right.
Now, Paul?
Yes. Well, I'm just trying to find my notes here because I had them right here and I've lost them. But we're going to show the race between. We're going to show the race in St. Croix at the. Let me name the track now. The Randolph James.
Randolph James.
Doc James, right. Racetrack in St. Croix, where we saw.
Really uptown.
Really, see, Carl asked me, he knows. Really
I'm trying to understand what's going on, but this
really
is
uptown against Slevin.
Michael really doesn't make these kind of mistakes. But
really, I
forgive him tonight because he doesn't have his notes.
Right.
So,
really, well, they were here, and then I just packed them away because I thought you were going to say.
What he's really talking about is
the
race between Really Uptown and Slevin. You guys been asking for it all week. We're going to give you the clip of it.
But it's been showing all week, but for those of you who might have missed it,
there you go.
This is the race again. So until next year, Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad to your Spanish friends, and Happy New Year. Here's the big race.
Gate, bus, and they're running. Really Uptown, as expected, goes towards the front. Slevin is being held tightly 2 lengths off of the pace. Burn the Harp is running in 3rd position. As they enter the clubhouse turn, that is Really Uptown leading the way. Running in 2nd position is Slevin. In alongside the rail is Burn the Harp. As they enter the backstretch, it is still Really Uptown. Randa opening the quarter in a comfortable 23-3. Slevin now starting to move with Kent DeSermo. Really Uptown maintains a 2-length advantage. Burn the Harp is in the race for recreational purposes. As they head up the backstretch and pass the half-mile pole, that is Really Uptown leading by 2.5. Kent DeSermo and Slevin running in 2nd position. They ran the half in 47. Burn the Harp is in it for the recreation. As they exit the backstretch, it is Really Uptown leading the way. Kent DeSermo now asking Slevin for run. In the middle of the turn, Really Uptown's lead is shrinking. Here comes Slevin. It's a 1-length advantage for Really Uptown. At the top of the turn, it is Slevin on the inside. Really Uptown on the outside. They ran the first 6 in 1:11-2. 1 furlong to go. Really Uptown holding on. Here comes Slevin on the inside. Really Uptown with less than a